Hi, I'm Val Walker, and I'm happy to say we have a group tonight to share stories of awe and wonder and healing experiences with awe and wonder. And I write about this quite a bit, and I'm also the author of two books, The Art of Comforting and another book called 400 Friends and No One to Call. I'd like to hear from my co-host, Robyn Houston-Bean.
Hi, Val. Good to see you again. Hi, everybody. I'm Robyn Houston-Bean. I'm the founder of the Sun Will Rise Foundation. We do peer grief support for people bereaved due to substance use related causes. And we sit in peer grief circles. And so many times we talk about these moments of awe and wonder amongst our circles. And Val was wonderfully brilliant to say, hey, Robyn, do you want to take part in this experience with me of sharing these? And she knew that I would know a lot of people that had experienced these types of things. So I was absolutely excited to take part in that. And I'd like to introduce my daughter who's here today. So this is really exciting for me. My daughter is here to take part in tonight's session.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I do all the graphic design for the Sun Will Rise Foundation. I have a bachelor's of fine arts in graphic design, so art is around me all the time. I do all of my work in memory of my brother Nick, and I'm just excited to be here and tell and hear some crazy stories.
Thanks, Olivia. Irina?
Hi everyone, thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Irina Veron. I am also member of the Sun Will Rise group and team sharing. I lost my only son, Victor, in January 2016. And I would like to share my story. My professional life brought me to medical field. I have a nursing diploma, and now currently I work in cardiology at Mass General Brigham. But my heart is in the arts. I love painting, I love dancing, singing, writing. I write poems, and I'm working on a book myself. I don't know what and how it will come out, but hopefully it will come out one day. So that's my passion. And I believe it's also the outlet as a therapy for me to let my feelings out and my thoughts and my experiences to share with others.
Thank you. We're an art, we have a lot of creativity. I can see all of us here. So back to Rob.
Yeah, thanks for that, Val. You just brought me back because I did some student teaching years and years ago for kindergartners, and I came up with this whole thing about butterflies, and we talked about it, and I hope they got some awe from that way back when. Maybe they still think about it today. I don't know. So this is an unusual one. So Olivia is my daughter, right? So we've shared a number of different awe and wonder moments, especially since Nick has died. So the experiences that you have together, and then we've shared them out to the world. It's a different perspective than I've had with some of the other guests here. So Olivia, if you'd like to go ahead and just talk about a couple of them.
Yes. Yeah, we have shared some amazing moments, unexplainable moments together. And I feel like a lot of it's because we're open to it, because I'm always looking for a sign or something. So I feel like that helps. But we had a great experience. We decorate the cemetery, I can't think of the word.
His gravesite.
His gravesite. We decorate his gravesite for each holiday, and we'll come up with like a theme, or if it's a specific holiday, we'll go out and find, for example, this story has to do with St. Patrick's Day. So we had shamrocks hanging on the trees. And we love going through our bins and finding how are we going to decorate for this holiday. So throughout the years, we would do it and then take a picture of it and admire our work and be like, oh, I think Nick would love this. So this particular time, we worked so hard to make it perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Took our picture, looked at the picture, and there was a random rainbow that we did not see while we were taking it. And we had taken, tons and tons of pictures in that same exact spot. I've never had the light refract or anything like that, making a rainbow. So we both took that as like a sign like that Nick loved it. And it just like went with the St. Patrick's Day thing.
Hmm.
I actually have the picture, and I ended up, I was in such awe. I shared it on my social media, and everybody, like, I went to work the next day and they're like, oh my gosh, that picture was so crazy. And I told them all the story. Like, we didn't even see the rainbow happening, but I don't know if we can see it. Might be hard to see on here, but it's tough to see. But there's a rainbow,
I
and
see
the
it.
trees are all
Yeah,
decorated. So that wasn't there when you were just looking with your naked eye. So that was an awesome moment.
Mm.
I,
Um,
I I remember that just when we took the picture, because it's weird. I said to Olivia the other day, when I look back at these pictures of his gravesite that we've taken over the year, it's almost like Nick has grown up after he's been gone. It's kind of weird,
yeah,
right?
it's a weird thing.
A progression of through the years, through the seasons. And when that particular picture got taken, it just like St. Patrick's Day, a rainbow, this whole theme of it was just amazing. And I think I shared it as well on my social media, and so many
Yeah.
people commented like they were wowed by it. So it was this big sharing circle that was just the two of us having that moment that everybody else got to experience. It was really a neat experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like we were so blown away that we had to share it with other people, and they were also blown away. So it was kind of cool to share that with others.
I love that word, sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
Spread it. Yeah. Wow.
And then did you want to share your other story that you had?
Yes. So I have another story, and this was about a year after Nick passed, and me and my mom, we decided we wanted to do something. There was an event going on with this organization. They do Black Balloon Day. They end up releasing balloons, or not releasing balloons, I guess, but like hanging up a black balloon in memory of your person. And for this particular event, everyone was marching down to the State House. So we decided we wanted to join in and do something. And we marched down, we got to the State House, and we're there with a ton of people. And all of a sudden, this kid catches both of our eyes, and we're like, oh my God, that's Nick. Nick is over there. And we, turn to each other and we're like, are you seeing this? Or like we had both almost, I feel like we almost saw it simultaneously. Like, that's Nick. And so much so we were both so distracted. Like, I couldn't even tell you what they were talking about. Like, they were having a whole thing, and we were just like, Nick's over there, Nick's over there, Nick's over there. We need to go talk to him. And I mean, luckily, I think we were around some like-minded individuals, because we did go up to him. Because I've heard that a lot of times in grief, you can think you see your person like in the grocery store, and but this was strange because we were both seeing it. We could both like validate, like, wait, this kid looks exactly like Nick. So we ended up going up to him, and I don't know, we must have said that, like, you look like my brother, you look like my son, and he was okay with it. We even asked to get a picture with him. Like, we were blown away, and he was very willing. So we ended up taking a picture with him, and I think talking with him. But it was just like a great sign. Like, it felt like maybe we were like doing something right.
Yeah.
Um, it's just weird. And I've never, like, I feel like as time has gone on, I have seen like glimpses like, oh, that person kind of looks like Nick, but this was like the biggest thing. Like that felt like Nick to me. I also do have a picture of that as well. I come with proof of funny enough. But we did a little, I did like a little pick stitch side by side. So
Yeah.
that's Nick, and that is the random person.
Yeah.
And they just
Wow.
looked so similar. I'll never get over that. And it just it feels like sometimes looking back at those pictures, like we took a picture with him as well. Like it feels like it was with Nick. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost everybody's touched by it somehow, right? It's contagious. So I bet other people were seeing their loved ones in that event. So
Yeah.
am I
It was it was a feeling of almost like electricity. Like it
Mhm.
was a somber event.
Mm.
You know, people, they were reading off people's names and ringing a bell. And Olivia and I were over here like buzzing,
Jittering, jittery.
you
jittering?
know, what,
Like
what
we
is
can't
happening?
like, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah,
Right.
like
We couldn't wait
hitting
for it
each
to get
other.
over so we could go over to where that person was before they left the area, you know?
Yeah.
And we were with two other people that knew us, that knew Nick,
Mm.
and they could see it too.
Mhm.
You know, they saw what we saw. And I'll remember that picture she showed last, that he has his arms around both of us. That just felt like this giant hug from Nick.
Mm.
It
Mhm.
felt like so amazing. And yeah, it's just like a moment you can't explain. And I'm really glad that it happened to both of us.
Mhm.
It's
Really
one of
beautiful.
those
I don't
days.
think I've heard something quite like that. Not quite, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Heard from other people too, when especially with loved ones that passed away in the support group, or I read in books when they say that they feel that loved one kind of get transferred into another form. It could be just another person, it could be an animal, it could be an object, you know, like a feather or something else. And actually, it happened to me too when I saw Victor in somebody just passing by, and it only lasted maybe a few seconds.
Mhm.
Then I blinked, and that person is gone. Like they're nowhere around. Where did it go? It was just this person was just here a second ago. I look again and I look again, and he's not there. So I believe maybe it's some kind of, like you mentioned, work energy. Maybe it is something like that unexplained happening to us. And I also believe that we are open to these things. We are open to receive the signs. We're open to receive these little visits. I absolutely love them, and I'm not scared at all. And I love it.
Mhm.
It's always exciting when something like that happens. So, and you can't miss it. Like Irina, that small split second for you, if you hadn't been paying attention, you would have missed that.
Mhm.
Do you want to share your story or stories?
Yes, thank you so much. I feel like sharing part is extremely important because I believe that sharing healing stories like this, it can help people to find hope, especially when you feel like there is no hope. And I felt like this many, many times before. So I really appreciate the sharing part. And I would like to title my story, if I may, Birthday Doves. My only son Victor passed away in 2016, in January 2016. His birthday is November 11th. So we decided to celebrate his birthday at the gardens at the cemetery on November 12th, 2016. And many people came, family and friends, as well as many of Victor's friends. They came too. It was so nice to see them. I really can't recall how and but someone reached out to this person who had beautiful white doves. And he brought them in a basket for the event to the cemetery. So we all gathered together in a circle. It was a beautiful blue sky day, a little bit chilly, but sunny. So I opened the basket to let the doves out, and 4 of them came out one by one. And they were so white. They seemed to be so white on the blue sky, just like snow. And I looked at them and they were just absolutely magnificent. And the doves made a circle directly above Victor's headstone. And then they continued to circling like that, as if it was a dance. It just kept circling and circling, never left anywhere. And then out of nowhere, a hawk appeared. We all got concerned for the doves. And this is when one of the doves stayed circling and just above the headstone, and others made their way to safety. The one remaining dove continued to distract the hawk and continued to circle in the sky and around the trees. And when all the doves left for safety, the last dove also flew toward home. And the next morning, the owner of the birds, he said that all 4 birds made home safely. I can still remember that moment when the birds were dancing in the blue sky. It was just miraculous, beautiful, gorgeous picture. And I felt as Victor was right there near me, because he was that kind of a person to help others to safety and not leave until everyone is safe. And just like that single dove helped others, Victor was helping everyone else before himself. And the interesting thing with complex grief that I was diagnosed, I lost some of my memory, and I still have troubles recalling things after Victor passed away. But miraculously, I do remember the white doves circling in the blue sky. And I'm just so happy that I have that memory. So I wanted to share that. I actually have a picture. I made it bigger, so maybe you guys can see it.
Can you hold it up?
I'm gonna come closer. So this is the
Oh,
dove.
there's the dove there.
I will maybe send you pictures. Maybe you can. Oh,
There you go. You can see it.
see the dove. And this is when I was opening that basket, and it just started to fly out like that. And like Val, you mentioned before, sometimes these healing moments, they don't have to be big or huge. They can be very small or kind of ordinary. After that event, I started to see signs. And at that same cemetery, I started to see deer. They just come out on the lawn and they look at me, and that's one of them, beautiful creature.
Pull it back closer to you. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid of us. They just come and they eat and they stay with us, and then they go. And then I look up in the sky and I see this beautiful sign. It's a V. I'm gonna get it closer to the camera. I don't
Pull
know
it
if
back towards you, Irina, like closer to your body.
it's closer to my body.
Yeah, back a little bit closer to you. Mm.
This is clouds forming a V form. There's no editing or anything. I can forward the photo to you, Robin, and maybe you can share.
Yes, I can
This
get
is
these
the V.
pictures over to Val, and Val, we maybe can add
Yeah,
them.
we might be able to share it. Absolutely. Links and things. So let me picture, I'm trying to visualize, there were 4 doves flying in a circle above, right?
Yes,
I just
above the
continued to
head.
fly, and then the hawk came.
Yes.
And now what happened with the hawk then? They,
So the hawk appeared and we all freaked out. Oh my God, what's going to
right.
happen? So one dove stayed near the hawk and it was just distracting the hawk while the 3 others were
I
going
see.
away in safety. And it just continued to circling and kind of, make it hard for the hawk to catch him. Hawk was much bigger and the dove was much smaller, so the dove can fly faster. But I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, please, please. And then we never saw where the dove went, but I saw the hawk going into different direction. I guess it was tired and maybe gave up. But the next morning, the owner said that all 4 came home. So I was
Right.
like, oh my God, thank God.
I mean,
That's amazing. I can just picture you there with all those hawks, and what a beautiful moment that you must have had. And is that normal? Like, do doves usually just like fly out of the basket and they just kind of
I've never
leave?
heard of doves flying around in a circle like that.
So I was told that this owner, he trains them, and that's how they knew where the home was. So cemetery is in West Roxbury, and 4 doves flew to Braintree, where the home was.
Wow.
How do they know how to navigate?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So maybe that's part of the training. I have no idea, but they decided to circle above Victor's headstone. So for me, it was like, I just couldn't believe it.
Mm.
That's amazing.
It reminds me of a halo almost. It's
Mm. Yeah.
crowns it, you know. Mm.
Yes, and after that, we see, like, I keep seeing signs, like we talked that, sometimes it could be an animal. I absolutely love deer, and when I miss Victor a lot, I would come to cemetery, and there's this deer appears out of the woods, and it's like, hi, Victor. I love to see you. Thank you for saying hi to me. So it's just those little awe moments that I see nowadays, and I gather them all in my little tiny wallet, and I keep them all for my memories. But like, he was absolutely, he was so kind, and he was always putting others ahead of him. He would always make sure that everyone else is comfortable and fed and safe. So that was part of his personality, and um, I, I I I just wanted to share this story. I never shared it with anyone, and I know that when we talk about our experiences, we might help other people, but at the same time, I believe that we help ourselves. When we talk about our loved ones, we keep their memories alive and we honor their memories. So I believe it's so healing for all of us.
And I've been thinking a lot about wonder. I've been thinking it's our ability to feel the wonder that's just as important and maybe more important than the thing that makes us wonder, the wondrous thing, like the doves or the rainbow or things that happen. Those are miraculous, wondrous things. But what's just as important is the ability we have to see that wonder, to feel it. So to be open to it. And that's what I hope these experiences help us become even more open. So, yeah, This
Yeah,
is
I think
what fascinates me, not just what it is that makes us wonder, but what it is within us that sees, that can even perceive it somehow, you know?
yeah, like what makes something wondrous to one person? Is it the same thing? You know, someone might hear one of these stories and be like, that doesn't give me any just listening to it. But another one of the stories is like, oh, I feel it in my soul, my bones. It makes me, what we say that word, like jitter, you know, like it does something for me. So
Yeah.
why is that, Val? We'll have to figure out why
I
wonder.
think most people who have any kind of empathy at all feel what people are feeling when they're telling the story. I mean, Irina, I was feeling almost a sense of reverence for those doves flying in a circle. I mean, it was I mean, just the way you were telling it, and you were revisiting that feeling of wonder. That's what's contagious. Maybe the doves don't quite have the same effect on other people, but it was you, Irina. The way you told it, the way you were so spellbound. That's I think really where the magic is. But in a little way, I know I'm gonna bet you somebody watching this video, they're gonna see a dove in a different way, and they're gonna see any doves that might ever circle around anything, you know? I bet they're gonna be thinking about that.
That would be wonderful. And I was thinking about this ability to continue have that awe moment. I want that. I remember not having that when Victor passed. Like I said, I was in such darkness for the longest time, and I was reaching out to find anything to stay alive. So now every time when I go into dark moments, I actually pull myself out using something like that. What can I find that would bring me this awe moment?
Yeah.
Maybe I could look at that video when the deer came out of the woods, or maybe I can find, Victor's poem that he wrote for me, little things. Or maybe that little red cardinal sitting on a branch at the window. I love those moments, and I make myself feel better when I think it's better to be in the light, it's better to be out of darkness. So let's go there. Whatever we can find, it's better to be alive, it's better to be sharing, it's better to be loving rather than staying alone and isolated like I used to be. So it's just really, really good.
Yeah, and you and Olivia both bring some awe and wonder to me, and I know to other people too, with your artistic ability. Olivia makes all of our graphics, and whenever I ask her to make me something, I'm always like, "This is so beautiful and so wondrous. Thank you for sharing it for the world." And Irina has painted a bunch of people's children who have passed, Nick included, and it has this beautiful art show with all of these faces. And walking into that art show, I mean, I know I wasn't the only one whose breath was taken away. Olivia did her college art project on The Sun Will Rise, and walking into that, I was just like spellbound by this ability that you guys have that I don't have. I think that's another awe and wonder thing, like, wow, people can do these amazing things.
Thank you, Robyn. Thank you.
Well, we want to keep that alive in each other, that ability to be wondering and awestruck by something. We want to open each other up through our story that we might tell, or art we make, or song we make. Back we had a guest on the show a few months back who told a story about how a song came on the radio, as simple as that, and how it shifted everything for her. I mean, I'm just saying, even a song that comes on for 10 seconds can just shift everything for us. And I just think the arts are a very important way of communicating that awe and wonder and keeping it alive. And Irina, I am really so, it's interesting. The way you described it, I can tell you're an artist because the way you talked about the images of the doves flying in that blue sky. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's so rich. And, to me, like when you open up your senses and you take it in so deeply, it feeds your soul. That's what I'm feeling. That's why, see, maybe doves don't usually do it for some other people, but when they hear you tell it and they feel it through you, they're there with you and they feel it. They're seeing those doves with you. It's just amazing what humans can do.
Absolutely. I believe that it's energy that we send, like the energy. If I feel good inside and I want to share that good energy with others, and that's what I usually try to achieve, if I may say something, I would think before I say, and if it's something that might help another person, I would definitely choose to say it. And I believe this energy is so important and contagious. Like other people will definitely answer me with a smile when they see me smiling. And even when I feel really not good inside, I would just still find energy to try to do my best and find positive moments and find something that can get me to a happy place, even just looking at the sun, little things, little miracles.
Yeah. There's a great saying by Rachel Carson, who wrote the book about the birds, about Silent Spring. She was an ecologist, and the reason I'm bringing her up, she has a great quote that if you're able to see beauty, you will always find strength. It's one of the most simple, powerful things. And she wrote a beautiful book for children called A Sense of Wonder, and was really big on having adults go out with children into wondrous experiences to teach children how to open up to wonder. So I really believe that stopping, and it's not even just stopping. Sometimes something stops you. So I think being sensitive to beauty and being nurtured by what's really letting it feed your soul. And I think awe and wonder gives us that way to get out of our head. I mean, all the neuroscience shows it gets us out of our thoughts and it takes us outside to see what's around us. It turns us outward and we notice more and we tune into each other more. So it's.
And I think too, I think at one point you said it has a calming presence on people. And I think after sitting here tonight in the circle, at the beginning, we all feel a little jeeved up, listening to some of these wondrous stories, calms us down, slows us down, lets us be in the moment. And is just, we're present, we're here and not nervous. I think that does it. Like just listening to these things brings a whole different feeling. And I hope the viewers are feeling that as too, as they're listening to all these stories.
Yeah. So people.
I was also thinking about how sometimes you want something to happen so bad, or you want to see a sign so bad that you're being like thinking way too much about it. And
That's right.
I feel like sometimes when you let yourself go a little bit and it just comes instead of trying to force something. Because I feel like that's what most of my wondrous moments have been, like just all of a sudden, instead of being like, give me a sign, give me a sign, give me a sign, just all of a sudden, oh my God, look at that,
And you might miss things when you're so busy looking for the sign, you miss other little surprises along the way.
Right.
And that's not how awe and wonder works.
Right. You might miss the little things looking for something crazy to happen.
Yeah.